Hello and welcome to the Cyberden, your weekly dose of tech and games, right here on Siren Radio. Today I will be chatting with none other than professional voice actor and animator of BuzzFeed Inc., Kira Kopetsky, best known as the creator of the Chicken Nugget series. Thanks for coming, mate.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Now, Kira, please tell everyone listening, let's start off with a bit of a bread and butter question. So, what inspired you to enter the world of animation?
Ooh, honestly, ever since, like a lot of people, ever since I was a little kid, I just loved cartoons and animation. I love that you can just basically do anything with it. Like, anything you set your mind to, you can draw. If you can draw it, you can do it. And yeah, I don't know, just watching cartoons as a kid on Cartoon Network, that's really what set it in motion for me.
So do you have any noteworthy inspirations? Any movies, shows, animation studios, art styles, anything that comes to mind?
Yeah, particularly when I was 14, The Nightmare Before Christmas really kind of inspired me to go to animation school. Which is interesting because it's like an entirely different animation medium than the one that I do. It's stop motion and I do a 2D. But just learning about the production behind it and the people behind it really educated me on how animation worked. So that was definitely the one that really like set my career on like a pinpoint trajectory, basically.
Okay, now let's talk about the Chicken Nugget series. So, where did this idea actually originate from, and how did it all kind of come to be? How did it all kind of fall together in place?
Yeah, so I'd been working at BuzzFeed since like late 2017, and my boss had been asking me for a while if I wanted to pitch my own project. So I was like, I don't feel ready yet, but then 2020 hit and I was like, all right, I feel ready now. So the way that we kind of have to make shows at BuzzFeed is, it's on social media. So we have to kind of have something that's like attention grabbing and simple. So one of my favorite things to draw is just cute little animals. And I love kind of like weird, spooky, surreal stuff happening, or just wholesome little gags. So Chicken Nugget was kind of like a very obvious sort of brainchild for me, where it's like, I want to draw really cute animals, but make weird stuff happen. So that was basically the premise of the show, and then the lore and the characters just developed as we began writing it.
So, how does production for the show actually go down when it comes to the writing, the designs, etc.? Do you all kind of like get together around a table? Do you throw ideas on a document sheet? Or how does it usually go down?
So, for the lines, for the episodes, I write the majority of them, but the team that's with me, which is usually about 3 other animators helping me, they all get the opportunity to pitch ideas and write their own scripts, always open to it. So what we'll do is we'll use the website Trello to list everything. So we'll just come up with gags that we think are funny or, whatever, put them in Trello, and then everybody will get assigned an episode each week. So like me, for example, I'll take an episode, they'll be pretty short, just like seconds long, and take it and make an animatic in Adobe Animate, and then I will animate to it. And the one step I forgot to mention was, of course, recording the voices, which is a whole session that we'll do with all the voice actors, separately, of course. But we'll usually make like a huge batch of scripts and then go and record with each respective voice actor, and then assign everybody an episode and do it in Adobe Animate.
So how did you find the voice actors for the cast of Chicken Nugget? What made you decide to take the lead role of the titular character as well?
Ooh, so the funny thing is, so when you have a concept at BuzzFeed that's new, you kind of gotta like most shows, sort of like prove why, we should keep producing it, get it to a good place where people are watching it and people want more of it. So me voicing Chicken was kind of out of like convenience sake. I was like, I'm making this pitch. It's just easier for me to just hop on this. So it started as like a convenience thing, but I was like, okay, I can keep the voice of this character. This is fine. So that's kind of the way that I ended up voicing Chicken. But then regarding everybody else, Vivian Louise, who voices Cheeseburger, or Nate Charpentier, who voices Ice Cream, they were BuzzFeed employees. So again, because, at the start of production, keeping stuff pretty minimal, we'd reach out to BuzzFeed employees we thought were really good for voice acting, and they were just so great. We kept them, of course. And as we got a bit bigger, we were reached out to by some professional voice actors who work in the industry who were interested in having roles. So like Dawn Bennett, Christina V, Kellen Goff all reached out and they were interested in voicing characters. So I was like, of course, I'll make characters for you guys. So that's basically it. It's half BuzzFeed employees or previous BuzzFeed employees who are really talented and voice actors who have reached out to us.
Oh, that's awesome. And let me just say, if you are in need of another voice actor, I know this great bloke. What was his name? Jake the something, the voice. His name escapes me.
You do have a great voice.
Why, thank you. What was the initial audience response, and when did you realize how big of a hit this show was?
So, the plan at BuzzFeed was to try to tap into TikTok, because it was like up and coming at the time. I mean, I guess it had already had some, it was pretty popular, but there was a lot to do on the animation front. So we started on TikTok, and shockingly, it just took off really quick. I could be completely wrong, but I think at least back then, new accounts on TikTok, your first 5 videos, I believe, were being pushed to the trending page. So I think just by stroke of luck, people were able to see Chicken Nugget, and it caught on pretty quickly. I was like really amazed. We hit 1 million followers like within, I'd have to double check, but like a matter of months, like really short time frame. And thankfully that was enough for BuzzFeed to be like, okay, we can keep making this. And I'd made a Twitter and an Instagram as well for Chicken. And it was just so nice to see the audience response of people really liking it. People like follow me on my main account or the previous show I worked on, Good Advice Cupcake. But for the Chicken audience, a lot of them were people who had like never really heard of, me or Good Advice Cupcake before. So it was really sweet. I'm just so glad people liked it.
And I'm guessing you've seen things like all the fan creations, like, there's a heck of a lot of fan art, for instance, and just, all sorts of that, especially being shared on Twitter, which is really great. I bet it must be very heartwarming to kind of see that when people, when fans start sending those into you especially.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I can't even express enough how humbled I am by people just wanting to make fan art for stuff that I made. It's, oh my gosh, it's such a surreal experience, and I don't think I'll ever be able to get over it. But yeah, to everybody who makes content, like fan art or anything for Chicken Nugget, thank you so much.
So who would you say is the fan favorite of the series, and why so?
Oh, that's such a hard question. I have seen a lot of love for Slushy the Fox, and it's really sweet. Like, a lot of people's reasoning for liking her is just that she's just a genuinely really nice, positive person. She's kind of like the big sister of the group. She's very pro creativity, pro artist, pro self-expression. And I think that just really resonates with people, especially when there's a lot of negativity or like bad criticism in the world. That was one thing that was really nice to see with Chicken Nugget as a series, was like making optimistic or like wholesome, sweet content really resonated with people. And I'm so glad it did. Like, it's always great to see people value stuff like that. So Slushy is definitely well liked in that respect. And then I've seen a lot of people really like Fwenchfly the Dragon. Christina is just so talented at voicing that character. Yeah, I think people just enjoy Fwenchfly's like kindness and sweetness, and like they're just a fun character to draw. I don't know, they're super expressive.
Do you have a favorite character yourself? It's okay if you want to say Chicken Nugget himself, of course, but I'm curious nonetheless.
Oh yeah, people ask me this question and it's so hard. It's hard when it's your own characters because you're like, they're all my children. But it is really fun playing Chicken Nugget. Like, he's very different from me. I know sometimes when people ask like, oh, is, a character that you voice kind of like a projection of you? It's like, nah, no, he's his own thing. But really fun to voice him. I like his like spookiness. But I do really crack up at like Kellen's performance as Bezel. Bezel's just so out of place looking, which I don't know. I like characters where there's like a consistent theming across the cast, and then there's just one character that doesn't look like they fit at all, but it's really funny. So his performance always cracks me up. I really have been liking Coffee recently. Just really fun character to write gags for, and I love kind of the deadpan goth weird character.
So, whose idea was it to actually include like things like the kind of surreal moments? There's the scary moments, then there's also the kind of recurring gags that feature a lot. Was that your idea? Was that just everyone else like thinking, "Oh, this is funny, let's use it again"?
Yeah, it's definitely a combination of me and everybody else, depending on who's like on the team. Like the reoccurring gags with the wrestling is definitely my animator Matt, who loves wrestling, so that's all him. But yeah, I try to think of like, all right, we want some continuity, or we do want continuity just in general. So we'll bring back like reoccurring gags, or like having like Coffee tormenting ice cream, or I don't know, just it's nice to have something that we establish in the beginning and then way later we bring it up again. It's like, see, we remembered it. It's canon. It happened. But yeah, most of the surreal moments when I first pitched the show, that was a big part of it. I was like, it's cute, but there's like a lot of creepy stuff that happens. And BuzzFeed was really into that, so there was a lot more of that at first, and also for like lore related reasons, you'll find out why there's so much creepiness happening. But yeah, I don't know. Creepiness is just fun. It's unexpected. I think it's very, I don't know, I just love the trope of cute thing, but creepy. I'll never get tired of it.
Okay, now I've got another question, a very important one, about a very specific character that I really, really would like to know. So, does Hot Sauce really have fans? I mean, like, really real fans? Do they actually exist?
Shockingly, yes, and I've met them in real life. I am so surprised. Like, I really like Hot Sauce's, like, character design. It's like, he's a cute squirrel. And my friend Nicholas Butera voices him, and Nicholas is like the exact opposite of Hot Sauce. Like, Nicholas is like so unbelievably sweet, like the sweetest guy you'll ever meet, and Hot Sauce is just like, oh god. But yeah, no, I've actually met people in real life at we had like a chicken nugget chicken wing event in real life, which was very fun. And there were some people there that were saying that they wanted more of the character Hot Sauce. And I was like, really? And of course, like, I want more Hot Sauce just for, like, continuity's sake and to bring Nick back. But, yeah, I'm really... It's nice, because I really like villain redemptions. I mean, I guess if you could call hot sauce a villain, antagonist, whatever. I like when people like a broad range of characters. And like hot sauce is a jerk, but like definitely I don't think beyond redemption. But he definitely needs to face, consequences for being a jerk. But yeah, I'm glad people like him. You'll see more of him.
Now, we're going to be covering that Epic Wings tie-in in a moment, but first I just want to ask this question, another very important one. Do you have a favourite short, or perhaps favourite quotes that come to mind from the entire series?
Oh, yeah. Oh my god, there's so many episodes. The episodes that usually... There's definitely episodes that I am guilty of, like, making specifically for myself. Particularly, like, ones that involve birds. So, like, the pigeon episode or ducks or something. I love birds, and those are the episodes where I'm like, nah, I just wrote this for myself. Or ones that are super specific. Gosh, like the one where it's like Cheeseburger and Chicken are at the mall food court, and Chicken's having like this internal monologue where he's upset because there's no seats available, even though they have food, and there's people who are just like sitting at the table and taking up space, and that is directly based off of real life. Oh man, there's so many episodes. A bunch really make me laugh. Recent one that Matt did with the grocery store where he actually scored the music for it made me laugh. As far as quotes, my friends and just people in general will always ask me to do the like, oh my god, like one, the Chicken said a few times. So I'm glad that turned into a quote without even meaning to, which is sometimes how the best quotes are born. Just sort of happens naturally.
Now, let's talk about that Epic Wings tie-in. How did that come to be, and what happened on the day? What was it like for you, for the creators, for the fans, basically everyone involved? Tell us more about it.
So the funny thing about that is we did kind of have a way in because this particular location of Epic Wings is actually franchised by my dad. So very kind of easy way in for that. We have done like restaurant collaborations before with like Good Advice Cupcake and stuff, but for Chicken Nugget it was kind of nice to have like a first one be like a very like easy access. Of course we had to get permission from Epic Wings, the company, but it was pretty nice to have the freedom to like decorate the place and add the little toothpick character decorations and the food with ease. But yes, so that was we had to go through the legal stuff obviously with BuzzFeed and Epic Wings to get it all sorted, but it was so cool. Like we didn't really expect the amount of people that showed up to show up. It was a crazy big event. Like it lasted from I think 11 to 5, and the entire time I was talking to people, it was just so great, and it made me so happy that so many people really love Chicken Nugget and wanted to come out to this event. And it's great because it opens the door for future events at other places. But yeah, and I mean, what a perfect tie-in for Chicken Wings, Chicken Nuggets, and Chicken Nugget the cartoon. And the design of the restaurant was very aesthetically close to Chicken's colors and stuff. So it was really cool to be able to decorate the place, have the cartoons playing, have the little the toothpick things. And yeah, a bunch of people showed up, like from really young kids to adults. It was so amazing to just meet people. I don't know, like I loved it. I'm so glad we were able to do it, and I'm excited for future events at other places.
So do you have any other plans for the series' future, or perhaps even dream goals?
Oh, good question. So actually, as of yesterday, it was announced that BuzzFeed and Frederator will be doing a partnership So Chicken Nugget was mentioned in that article as one potentially to be picked up as a series, which would be super cool, super crazy. Yeah, we'll see if that happens. But I really love, Chicken Nugget as it is currently. So regardless of whether Chicken, becomes something bigger or not, I just really like what we've been able to do. There's definitely lore and like a storyline that's going to be wrapped up within Chicken. But yeah, I think as basically, with all the gag and fun episodes going on, I think Chicken Nugget will kind of eventually end when the time is right. I don't see it going on forever, unfortunately, but it'll be like a fun little project and moment in time, but that's not coming anytime soon, so no worries. But yeah, it'd be really cool if we had a bigger show. But yeah, as far as Chicken Nugget as it stands currently, definitely more really exciting merch that I'm super hyped about, and future events, which I will announce when they come.
Let's talk about some of the other stuff that you've worked on, of course. You've even had a hand in writing for, you've mentioned it earlier actually, the Good Advice Cupcake series. So please tell us more about this.
Yes, so that was the project that I was initially on at BuzzFeed. I got hired at BuzzFeed in late 2017, which was right when the animation team had started. So one of the first assignments I was tasked with was BuzzFeed's done a lot of comics. So Lauren Brantz, who's a very prolific comic artist at BuzzFeed, she had written a bunch, and my boss tasked me with adapting some of her comics into animation. So she left it up to me to choose. She gave me a list of them. So I went through them, and then I saw this one about like a little angry cupcake. And of course, I loved that one. So I was like, I'm going to do this one. So I adapted it to animation. I ended up voicing it just again out of convenience because I was like, do we need voices for this? And my boss was like, yeah, we can probably find like someone here to do it. And I was like, can I try? She was like, yeah, if you want to go for it. So I did it, and my boss and Lauren ended up liking it. So we posted it to Facebook, I believe, and amazingly, it was a huge hit. So that was like super lucky that my first project there was a big hit, enough to the point where they wanted to develop the Good Advice Cupcake further. So Lauren is responsible for coming up with like that whole universe. So I kind of headed like the art direction on it. Like I voiced Cuppy and of course animated the show and designed the characters and like the current style. But all the writing was done by Lauren. I think I only wrote maybe like 1 or 2 episodes, and that was just out of personal choice. But Lauren did basically all the writing. I just voiced it and animated it. And it was incredible, like the opportunities that we got doing Good Advice Cupcake. Like that was a big break for the animation team. It was definitely like the launching into like bigger success for us. So yeah, definitely without Good Advice Cupcake, Chicken Nugget would not be here. So yeah, I worked on Good Advice Cupcake up until 2020 when Chicken Nugget was developed, like in the summer. So I have not worked on Good Advice Cupcake since then, but I still voice the character. So like occasionally I'll be asked to contribute to like merch stuff, but for the most part I'm solely on Chicken now.
So, are there any dream projects that perhaps come to mind? Any other kind of voice acting projects you'd love to work on, to voice for? Or any other kind of ideas for shows you'd want to animate? Or maybe there's just bigger studios out there you'd love to be collaborating with either? Anything else come to mind?
Yeah, I'm open to all sorts of things. It would be super cool. I know it's like a dream of a lot of artists. It'd be really cool to design characters for a cartoon on like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or something, like that'd be really cool. Yeah, I'd love to work at other studios. So far, I've mostly, the big studio I've just worked at is BuzzFeed, but yeah, it would definitely be a very hard choice if I got like a good offer from another studio to leave BuzzFeed, because I really enjoy the creative freedom we get at BuzzFeed. It's super nice. So I'd have to really consider it. But yeah, it'd be awesome to work on other cartoons. I love working on children's cartoons. Chicken Nugget's kind of more general audience, but there's no, like cursing or alcohol in it. So it's like safe for children basically. But yeah, I like working on kids stuff. Cartoon Network is literally like you can see the building from my apartment window. It's in walking distance of me. So that'd be cool to work there. I mean, if we worked in office, I could just walk to work. But yeah, I'd love to also even make like designer like toys, like vinyl toys or something. That'd be really cool. I'm open to all sorts of things. I'm not very picky. I'm excited to see what the future holds.
So, when you're not working, animating, voice acting, all that kind of stuff, when you're not doing all that, how do you personally like to unwind?
Oh gosh, my friends make fun of me, but it's like, I'll take a break from, animation and art by doing other animation and art. I just genuinely love drawing so much that I'll just draw on my iPad. I'll draw like my own original stuff, or I'll draw fan art for fun. So drawing is just a huge part of my life, and I do it way too much. So I do that. Love just hanging out with friends all around LA, going to fun events, like little, like food festivals, and just having a real good time. Funnily enough, like weightlifting. And yeah, usually just a lot of creative outlet stuff, and hanging out with friends is how I pass my time.
Kira, let me just say thank you so much for coming on to this interview. It's been an absolute blast chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. It's been great.
That's wonderful to hear. So, do you have anything you'd like to say to all the many fans out there?
Thank you so unbelievably much for watching and enjoying Chicken Nugget. Like, I cannot express enough, like I said with the fan art, cannot express enough how much I'm humbled and grateful for people enjoying it. And yeah, stay tuned for more exciting stuff. It's coming.
I'd like to thank all of my wonderful listeners out there for checking out another great interview right here on The Cyber Den, your weekly dose of tech and games. So thank you very much, Kira, and I can't wait for the next batch of Chicken Nugget episodes.
Thank you so much.